Hello, my name is Swiss Bianco. In this video we will have a look at a 410 shot shell side saddle, shotgun shell holder, whatever you wanna call it. Now unfortunately, to my knowledge, in 410 there isn't any side saddle available, and for sure in some other calibers not either. The main caliber for side saddles is 12 gauge. And of course there are versions in elastic loops nowadays, but for me that is not an option because they wear out pretty fast, and they're not gonna stay put and all that. So the idea was, how can I make a 410 side saddle myself? It's custom made anyhow, and no, I'm not gonna sell those side saddles. It just is a video about the idea. If you have a shotgun, whatever it is, in 410, and you have a space where you would like to add a side saddle, be it on the side of the receiver or on the side of the stock, there isn't anything out there on the market that you can buy. Of course, as I did rig it up here, you can do it like that. That is just for display. If you have a couple rubber rings or rubber bands, you can put some ammunition right there, or on other places like that. That is of course not gonna last, and it's but ugly as well. So the idea was to make a side saddle like we usually have it on the side of the receiver, and that is the raw version, and I'm quick gonna explain how I did it. It starts out with a sidesaddle polymer pipe. In this case I did go with this size here. Now the size is basically big enough that it goes in, but it won't clamp too well, so it would fall out. Then you cut that to the length what you need, as many pieces as you need. In this case we have 4 of them, and you need some kind of back plate, and the back plate basically mounts it on the side of the receiver, so the receiver needs to be drilled and tapped. And then you first take the edge of the inside of the tube, as the tube is still not cut. Then you cut it with a saw, with a Dremel, whatever you have. Then you drill the holes. We need holes through the aluminium in this case, and through the polymer tubing as well, and that of course by all of them. And then what I use instead of screws is a strong string. Just basically loop it, saw it on it, put a bit super glue at the knot at the end so that doesn't come undone. And what we don't have yet done is I'm gonna put on some JB weld inside too. It's just a bit super glue that I use for now, so that it won't wiggle around, but that's gonna get a little bit JB weld as well. And then of course painting. After all is dehorned and smooth, you can paint it. And then actually pre-order paint, you may need to adjust it a bit. That is, you simply do that by pressing the item together. Sometimes you can use a heat gun to press that together. So that is the only drawback there, that we don't have a pipe that 100% fit. But once it's pressed a bit together, that works really well. You can simply slide it in, and it won't fall out. So, and still it's easy to simply take out and put back in. And then of course you mount it on the firearm, on the receiver, And that's it. That's basically it. That system I did do also in 20 gauge. There was also no side saddle available, and I'm sure there are other calibers. It would even work not for only for shotgun shells, but for regular rifle ammunition as well if you need that. So as long as you have a suitable good quality polymer pipe that you can use, then that should work. I did not use Kydex in this project. Of course, it would be possible to make such round parts also out of Kydex. Quite likely it would even last longer than the pipe here, but this one, the prototype here, is already, yeah, for sure 2.5 years old, and it still works like on the first day. The item doesn't fall out. It is sturdy enough, strong enough, so that all works. So for me there was no need to upgrade in a Kydex, but you can of course do that as well. So that much about idea how to make side saddles, custom side saddles for calibers where there isn't anything for sale.